Today we are making a deliciously cozy, keto-friendly shepherd's pie. This is going to be perfect for your meal plan for the upcoming week for fall comfort food at its best. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathleen Hart. I'm a mindset and weight loss coach and I follow a low carb / keto lifestyle. Today's recipe is a keto shepherd's pie. So this recipe is not gonna be 100% authentic. I'm gonna be using ground turkey today and I'm modifying some of the ingredients to be keto friendly. You can use anything your heart desires. You could do ground turkey, like me, ground chicken, ground beef, ground lamb. The choice is yours. So for shepherd's pie, there's actually two layers. There's the bottom layer, which is a meat layer, which is seasoned perfectly with some veggies and ground meat. And then the top layer is typically mashed potatoes, but today we are going to be making homemade cauliflower mash with just a few ingredients, and we're gonna top it with that and then bake it all in the oven. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure your oven is preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna show you the ingredients for the bottom layer for the meat layer first, then we'll move on to the mash, pull it all together, and then we eat. So for the meat layer, you're going to need 1 pound of ground meat. Today I'm using ground turkey, 1 clove of garlic, 1 cup of chopped onion, 3/4 of a cup of chopped celery, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/4 of a cup of red wine, 1/2 cup of chicken stock, 3 tablespoons of low sugar ketchup, 1.5 teaspoons of dried parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1 ounce of cream cheese, and 1 cup of frozen peas, and some salt and pepper. Let's get started. So the first thing I do is add in a little bit of olive oil and have it on medium-high heat and just brown up my turkey. Mine had a lot of liquid that came off, so I'm actually just gonna drain all of that out, and then I'm gonna add it back to the stove and add in my celery and my chopped onion. And I'm gonna cook that just for a few minutes until the veggies soften and everything is starting to come together. This always happens. I always forget something. So you see the garlic back there? I should have added that in before the spices, but don't worry, it will make its way in. But here I am just adding the spices, and just adding them to a pan like this allows them to toast up and just really bring out all of the flavor in those dried spices. And I'm also gonna be just seasoning it lightly with some salt and pepper at this point too. We're gonna check it for seasoning later as well. All right, next we're gonna take our red wine. I love to use a dry red wine, just like this one from 19 Crimes. The Shiraz is definitely my favorite. And I'm just gonna be deglazing the pan. You wanna cook the wine, stir and cook it until it's pretty much all the way evaporated. This adds a great depth of flavor, so make sure you pick a wine that you would love to drink as well. Once it's evaporated, I'm adding in my Worcestershire sauce and my low sugar ketchup. And then I'm also going to be adding in the chicken stock. And you want to just stir this so it's all incorporated well, and then you want to bring it up to a bubble. Next, you're going to add in your frozen peas. Lovely green color. And then we are going to be using cream cheese, full-fat cream cheese, to make this a little bit thicker. And that is the only thing that's going to thicken this up, and I think it works perfectly. So there is our mixture, and it's all ready to go. I'm going to put a lid on this while we make the cauliflower mash part. So next we're going to be making the cauliflower mash topping part of our shepherd's pie. The ingredients are super simple. The best way to do this is to chop up your cauliflower florets into big chunks and put them into a steamer basket just like this, and then we're going to be putting it on the stove for about 10 minutes to steam. Then we're going to be putting everything into the food processor and letting it do all the work. That is definitely the best way to make this topping. So for the cauliflower mash portion, you're going to need 5 cups of florets cut into big pieces, 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of butter, I love Kerrygold butter, and 1 egg, onion powder, garlic powder, and then 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese. Okay, so my water is boiling. I am just going to steam this cauliflower for 10 minutes. And you want to steam it that long because you want a knife to go through it very easily, just like I did here. And this is a great way to test. But I feel like 10 minutes has been pretty solid for as many times as I've made this. So then once 10 minutes is up, we're gonna put all of the cauliflower florets right into the food processor just like this, along with all of the other ingredients except the cheese and the egg. Save that for the very end because I want to make sure this tastes perfectly before we add the egg in. Having the mayonnaise, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder in there with the butter, you can really get a good idea of the taste, the flavor profile for this. So my measurements are gonna be kind of loose because the cauliflower is all different. It could be all different sizes, even if you're measuring it. And it could also have different levels of water content. So I say season this up with the salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, butter, and mayonnaise to your taste. I would definitely start with my measurements. The full recipe is in the description box, and kind of add more if you feel like you need to until it tastes perfect. Here I am adding a little bit more butter in and then a little bit more garlic powder as well, just because it didn't have the flavor that I wanted yet, and that's exactly what I mean. Just add until it tastes good to you. And then once everything tastes perfect, crack your egg in and add in the cheddar cheese. And then I like to put this on for another just 10 or 15 seconds just to get that egg all incorporated, and then you're ready to go. Your topping is done. So here we have the bottom layer keeping warm in my pan, and then here is the top layer, and then I'm just going to use an 8x8 baking sheet and just layer these up. There is something so satisfying about making casseroles like this. Tell me if I'm not alone. Let me know in the comments. I just love smoothing out the layers. I just think it's so fun. This is why cooking is literally my happy place. I just love it. You're going to pop this into your oven for half an hour until the top is nice and golden brown, and then the bottom is bubbly from the bottom up. You can see it. It just looks amazing. So this is gonna make 4 servings, which is pretty easy. You just kind of use your spatula to create 4 pieces, but you want to let it cool. I let mine cool for 15 minutes just sitting on the counter like that so that all of the flavors can kind of just settle and sit. And in the meantime, I'm just washing my pans. Once you wait for your casserole just to sit, that's the best because then it will stay together. It won't just ooze and fall apart, and the flavors will all get time to marry together. How gorgeous does this look? And it was so easy. That's the best part, and it's perfect for meal prep as well. Especially for a lunch meal prep on a cold fall day. It's perfection, it really is. It really hits the spot. The meat layer is so rich, almost decadent, and then the top is light and fluffy. Cauliflower mash is one of my favorite things. If you're hesitant about cauliflower, definitely give it a try because you can't even tell that it's cauliflower. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you make it down in the comments. Don't forget to check the description box for the full recipe, and I will see you all really soon with a new video. Thanks guys, bye.